Today in the trial of disgraced South Carolina attorney Alex Murdaugh, we got to see and hear maybe the single most important piece of evidence in the trial. The clip that may make or break a conviction for Murdaugh. Prosecutors finally revealing a video taken on his slain son's phone, which they say places Murdaugh at the scene of the crime. At the time of the crime, the video, just under a minute long, was taken at 8:44 p.m., according to the prosecution, at the kennels on the family's estate, just about 5 minutes before prosecutors say the killings took place there. The prosecution witness, Lieutenant David Britton-Dove, testified 3 voices could be heard on the video, and one of them being Alex Murdaugh.
Get back. Get back. Quit, Cash. Come on. Quit. It's okay. Come here. It's not bad. Come here, Cash. Come here. Post it. Cash.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth.
Bubba. Damn, Bubba.
It's a guinea.
This is a chicken.
Come here, Bubba.
Come here, Cash.
Come here, Bubba.
Cash. Quit.
Murdaugh could be seen breaking down in tears as the video was played.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth.
Damn, Bubba.
It's a guinea.
This is a chicken.
Come here, Bubba.
Come here, Cash.
Come here, Bubba.
Cash. Quit.
And this is critical because Murdaugh, remember, told police he wasn't at the kennels around that time.
Well, Maggie went to go to the kennels.
Okay, Paul left.
And I'm assuming, Paul left because of,
Gotcha.
what happened. I mean, I'm assuming Paul went to the kennels.
Okay. And what did you do once Maggie and Paul left?
I stayed in the house.
What did he tell you he did after
Maggie and Paul went to the kennels?
He stayed in the house.
So is this the smoking gun that'll sink Alex Murdaugh? Let's bring back Jesse Weber, anchor and host on the Law and Crime Network, which I own. He's been following this case closely. Jesse, good to have you back. All right, so the lieutenant there who's on the stand doesn't actually identify the voice. Is that a problem for prosecutors?
He didn't have to, because just a short time later, 2 friends of Paul who know the family very well said they are 100% certain that third voice is Alex Murdaugh. I heard it. It sounded like to me, this third voice saying, "What's the matter, Paul?" See, Alex Murdaugh has a very distinctive voice. We heard it in the interviews. I heard it. I think this is the most significant piece of evidence we've seen from the prosecution. And I didn't hear a lot of blowback from the defense. I don't know where they're going to go with this, because they didn't really challenge the people who were asserting that this was the voice on the video. They said, are you sure? Yes. But they have nowhere to go with this. See, I think where they might be going now is suggesting we can't fight that Alex Murdaugh might be there. But remember what the defense attorney said in opening statements. My client was so, he just saw his family murdered. He didn't know what he was saying. Whatever he told investigators, you have to take with a grain of salt. And what they did in their questioning was distract away from that. And they really focused their questioning on, well, maybe it's possible that the cell phone data doesn't definitively show when Paul and Maggie were killed or when Maggie's phone was used. They're distracting away from this because I think this is the most significant thing and really bad for their case.
And so instead of challenging that it's him on the tape, instead they're going to say, you guys have the timeline wrong.
You got the timeline wrong. And even if my client said he wasn't down on the kennels, you got to take that with a grain of salt because he really was in not the right state of mind. That's where they can go, because unless they have something else up their sleeves, why didn't they challenge that? If I was sitting in the jury, I would say, well, maybe you'll say, are you sure it was that voice? Maybe it was a third person that you can't identify. But when you have 2 separate witnesses coming on the stand, testifying for the prosecution, saying that's Alex Murdaugh, I think it is, independently, that's going to be a problem.
And real quick, there was another video that was played where the family is sort of together and they all seem happy. right? But the defense is using that too.
Two videos, one from an hour before a Snapchat video of Paul and Alec where they're seemingly happy, and then one from Memorial Day weekend and Alec's birthday where everybody's happy. And the question is, how does somebody who loves his family, is in a good mood, then just decides to brutally murder them?
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.